I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you guys.
All right, I'm gonna open up, we have a public hearing for the invasive species expendable trust request. And I'm assuming most of you are here for that, right? No? Who said no?
The first two rows here.
Oh, okay. So that's the first thing we have, and then I'll have another one that we have to open up for a public safety grant. But right now, is there anybody that wants to speak on the behalf of the invasive species? Go ahead. Can you say your name and?
Yeah, Ed Selesky, treasurer of Blimp for Balch. We come before you again to say thank you so much for providing the funding that you do. It's helped us continue our milfoil eradication. We had 37 days, diving days in 25. We're gonna have 40 days of diving in 26. We may recall from previous years that will now be in our third year of having outsourced the diving to a company called Aqualogic. They continue to prove their efficiency and productivity, whereas when we had our own divers, we were only getting like the average of 40 barrels a year. Now there were 80 barrels the first year, 71 last year, and we continue to expect the great productivity from them. So, the funding that you provide is of great assistance to us. And just two parenthetical things, kind of good citizen things. I've also told you in the past that we have a very comprehensive water testing program that we do every year in conjunction with the University of New Hampshire. We sample a bunch of different spots 5 times a year, and we're fortunate that the lake is in tremendous condition and continues to be. We've also tested for PFAS, petroleum, all those forever chemicals, and knock wood, either non-detectable or 50 to 100 times below the minimum standard. The last parenthetic is related to loons. We've worked slightly peripheral to our mission. We've worked with the Loon Preservation Society. There was unfortunately a loon that was killed last year, a male loon, ended up where the mom abandoned the nest as a result, and we were able to get Tufts to examine the loon to look for causal factors, and we've also just spent a bunch of money getting very good sized 3x2 signs to put up where loon areas tend to be, to try to get the jet skiers and the like to slow down. And
Was it a boat that?
it was undetermined, but it was most likely a jet ski or a boat,
Yeah.
but not enough evidence to be able to prove. It was just it was concluded it was blunt force trauma that killed the loon.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, and so, we have a lot of little lakes and little coves and the like, and our folks have been, knocking on doors, and the response from people about, yeah, absolutely, go ahead, float a sign right there by my island, that'd be great, we'd love it. So we're hoping to help protect the loons as well. So I thank you.
Good. Anybody else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm Paul Patel from Fellow Lake.
Okay.
I'm the milfoil director for the association. And again, like the folks from Balch Lake there, I want to thank you all for the support you've given us. We've done a great job on our milfoil. 2024, we did a chemical treatment with Solitude, and it eradicated over 30 acres of the material of the milfoil there. So it was very effective. Last year, after the state audit of the lake, or the state survey, they only found 2 small spots in the northernmost and southernmost part of the lake, which were not treated areas. And we had the divers from Aqualogic come in the fall and also eradicate that. So our milfoil situation was looking very good. At the same time, though, on the negative side of things, New Hampshire DES comes in and they do a survey for the lake. In this case, it was August of last year. And what they detected is brittle naiad. Brittle naiad is an invasive species that's starting to pop up around the state based on conversations I've had with the NHDES there. So we started doing some diving last fall with Aqualogic. They picked out about 30 barrels of material in our boat launch area. So their initial analysis was, or thought process was it hijacked in off of some watercraft coming in and out of our docks. And it's very difficult to clean up. Unlike milfoil, it's not as noticeable. It can be very small, like little pods. It can be stuck in a prop or in a dry well or a wet well or any one of those things there, and it reseeds itself every year. So come fall time, it dies off. The plant completely is not visible inside the lake. Come springtime, those seeds will start to pop and they'll start to come out again. So when they left it, this is Aqualogic after the diving, they did note to us that there's still a substantial amount of brittle naiad in our dock area, or in our launch area, sorry, okay? And then from that perspective, we started working with the state NHDES and started to talk about what we could do to try to help resolve it with permitting and working with Solitude with maybe some chemical treatment, which they recommended. So we have Solitude now working with us to initiate the permitting, and we initiated permitting for 70 acres of the lake out of 200. So what we did is we went very aggressive in the amount of area we think we may need to treat, but at the same token, we have the New Hampshire DES coming in about the 3rd or 4th week of June at the latest, and they're gonna survey. So then we'll have some actual areas and places of concern to treat with the permitting we've already done with Solitude. So that's kind of the situation there. So the grant money that the town awards to the lakes for helping this is really
You guys
more
do
than
it.
helpful.
You do an awful lot on a little bit.
Yeah, and we do a lot in the community itself. The membership is very involved, like with Spotters for milfoil, with helping out any communications and things like that too. And we self-fund quite a bit as well. So if we can get the grant and you know, with the contributions we get from our membership too there, you know, we're hoping to do our best to solve this problem. But it is relatively new from what the New Hampshire DS has told us, but it is starting to pop up more and more. So I do caution the other lakes within the area there to be, even if you're diligent on your launch areas, some of the particles are so small that it can escape your view. So one thing to note.
So how much money will you end up spending this year?
Right
think
now,
roughly?
we could spend up to 17,000 specifically just on the permitting and the treatment of the material, of the brittle naiad itself.
I'm surprised they don't give you the permitting for nothing, because you're contributing to making something better. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, we've allocated more than that, 25,000 through the membership
I can
itself.
see getting the permit, but I can't see charging for it, you know what I'm saying? I can see, that way they can control it and understand it, but that just
Right.
doesn't make sense to me.
And we try to over budget in a sense because we all realize that diving is the better solution. It's better for the environment, it's better for the aquatic life and
Yeah.
things like that too, right? And what I just mentioned is strictly chemical treatment. If we go into the diving situation, we could rip through like $50,000, $100,000 easily. I think from Balsh's perspective, they can give you an idea, like the cost of diving is expensive,
Yeah.
but it is effective and it's the best
Absolutely.
as far as
You've
like
come a long
the
way,
quality
just
of,
the way you have
the
now.
result.
so-
Yeah.
And Paul and I were speaking earlier, Bellow feeds Woodman, which feeds Walsh.
Correct.
So,
They all meet
you
together.
know, it's, as goes one, ultimately so go all the others.
Have they ever replaced that dam in Woodman?
No,
No,
no.
No, it still hasn't been changed, huh?
no, it's like a beaver dam type of thing, like
Yeah.
a culvert on 150 feet
Yeah.
holding it back.
It's
but
not Woodman Lake anymore.
It's not,
No.
Woodman Pond.
yeah, it's not dam controlled, no, it's not.
Are you here to speak for the rest of them?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yep. So I'm here just representing. I'm John Balanoff from the Acton Wakefield Watersheds Alliance, representing Grady's Lake Association, Level Lake Association, Pine River Pond, and Province Lake Associations, to request funds specifically for their lake host program. So this is a voluntary boat inspection program. Unlike Bellow and Balch, these are 4 lakes in Wakefield that don't have invasive species yet. So they work with New Hampshire Lakes, a statewide organization, to do this voluntary boat inspection program at their boat launches, where they have paid employees from the community to voluntarily inspect trailers and boats for presence of invasive species, and they document that, and they compile it at New Hampshire Lakes every year. They can send samples to DES to identify species. So this is more of a preventative measure, so that we don't end up getting these other invasive species into the other lakes in Wakefield, because as we all know, it's extremely costly to continue to remove them and treat them with chemicals every year. So this preventative program's been going on for many, many years now. It's very successful, and that's what our request from this fund would go towards.
Can I ask a question is, why do you represent those and not the other two?
Not Bella and Balch?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I could come and speak for you guys if you wanted to. I've just never chatted before.
I'm just curious,
think,
I mean,
like,
you're here for 4 or 5 lakes.
So we're specifically like, my predecessor had a relationship like with New Hampshire Lakes Association. So like, and it's like the Lake Coast program specifically that we're sort of connected to just through our like nonprofit collaboration. So
Do you guys have lake hosts?
We actually have a courtesy boat inspection program that's funded by Maine, because our launch is in Maine. It's
Right.
not in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And so our,
So the marina is in Maine?
yes.
That's not Wakefield?
No.
No.
The house is.
Yeah, it's a funky.
Cause I know the house, I believe the
Yeah.
house.
The road is in New Hampshire, but the house is actually.
right.
No
And
kidding.
Maine does have a courtesy boat inspection program that I'm not as connected. It's a little more locally organized versus it's a statewide organization. So
And when the marina's open, Tracy or her mother are there
Yeah.
to do the launch
Yeah.
inspections.
Does Maine give you anything?
Yeah, they reimburse us for the amount that we pay. We pay a certain dollar amount per inspection
Yeah.
to the marina,
Okay.
and Maine pretty much reimburses us 100%.
For that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
yeah. So
Um,
that's all. I mean, and they're, I'm not as tied to like they are hiring the companies, so it's a little more localized, like what they're doing. Whereas this is just, helping to support the funding for the statewide Lake Coast
Yeah,
program.
you're on the defense where,
Yeah,
right,
so-
where you don't have the species, we have to deal with.
Yeah, they're in the
those.
weeds. You guys are in the weeds.
So-
You've been in it for a while.
Really
Have you,
figuratively.
did you notice the response that we did on our site walk the next day that you got
I
all that
sure
stuff?
did. Yeah,
Huh?
everything looked great. I went back out and checked it out, so that was looking
So,
fantastic.
did you get in touch with, did you have that contractor get in touch with the DPW to,
I
figure
connected
that-
Brock with the contract. Yeah, I think Brock wants to take a stab at it first with the town just to see what they can do, and
Yeah.
they'll utilize the contractor if
if needed?
more work needs to be done. But that's a continuing conversation.
But we jumped and we got something done, so.
Yep, very proactive. We appreciated that
Yep.
very much.
How are the lake levels up you guys?
We're
Yeah,
about
what happened with that?
24 inches shy of like some level.
We're at least 12 to 18.
Did they forget to put the boards in or something?
No, actually, our dam has been in place for at least 6 weeks now. It's just that, I guess
in the fall.
what's that?
It was so low in the fall, it was incredible.
Low in the fall, and then there was tons of snow this year. I'm assuming that all of that had already run off before it was officially ice out.
Well,
which
it
is
does
kind-
say that we're in quite a drought.
Exactly, and that,
Levels up, that's why I was asking.
really?
Yeah, yeah, we got plenty of water.
Is it
I'm
Springfield?
in Province Lake, and we're actually, right now, we're about 4 inches higher than where DES would like us to be. We haven't
Right.
put our boards in yet.
Huh.
But we have a real slow flushing rate, it takes a whole year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's,
But we put that dam in,
Yeah.
and it's only 3 feet,
no,
2 feet tall.
it's not a dam.
It's a bird, it's a, what do you call it when you put that in the road? A bird.
Yeah, bird, yeah.
Speed bump.
It's just to hold water up, actually, in
Yeah.
the summer, so it doesn't go too low, it's really all that.
Yeah,
And one last thing on the invasive thing, like I said, Providence Lake, John Samuelson, thank you guys for the money you do to help support us in our defense, so that we don't end up.
Yeah, I was talking to someone that used to live on Providence Lake, and he was saying, we always used to have a bubbler on that lake.
Yeah, we did here for a couple of years.
we did, but
And that would help that lake out a lot.
They saw a little bit of benefit, not that much for the cyano blooms. The problem was the compressor got stolen.
yeah, it did, because we put that, we helped put that in, I believe, and it did, it just kept getting stolen, and nobody seemed to want it, then they just said, oh, well,
But people were stealing it?
they stole the boat, because it was adding air to the, because you needed air.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
compressor, it was like
yeah.
on the shore, big compressor. It was cool when I was a kid. I used to go out there and you'd swim on it. It was
Yeah.
just a big bubbling thing, and it would blow you, or you'd
Yeah.
get on it, and 2 seconds later, you look and you're 45 feet from the center.
You
Just
remember
blew
it,
you
right,
away.
Dan?
It was cool.
Yeah, Dan was around,
Used to want to ski with us.
yeah, because like, I believe my uncle put the dam in, for Province Lake, and then we remember the bubbler thing, and it just kept getting stolen.
Yeah, never stop.
It was just stopped. But anyway, anybody else wanna say anything?
I'll just add one very quick thing in regards to the loon kill. Physical trauma is a common cause of death, but the most common cause of death for loons is actually lead poisoning from lead tackle 1 ounce or smaller. They eat it and they ingest it. So Loon Preservation Committee has a lead tackle buyback program, and our office is a drop-off location for that. So I just want to let the community know, if anyone has lead tackle that they'd be willing to part with, you can bring it to Awa and you can potentially get credit to Bass Pro, fishing businesses in New Hampshire and things like that, as a way to try to get that out of the community to help reduce loon deaths. So just a little sidebar about that.
Yeah,
Well, I
one,
will
one
go
more
ahead.
question for Iowa there, because I was talking to that hydrologist when we were out on Pond Road there.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, when you get a large accumulation of leaves on the bottom of the lake, that cuts down your oxygen also. So is it wise for people that have leaves around? Because, I get some around my property. Can you rake it out of there without someone coming raising holy heck with you? Or?
If the water level's down, you can rake. You're not really supposed to rake the lake bottom while there's
Right,
water
right.
there.
And that's when I usually
Case
do
of
it, because it
sediment.
goes down
It
enough
does a
where I
little more
can.
harm than good in that sense. If the water's down and you want to move some leaves out, I think that's generally acceptable. Naturally falling leaves on the shoreline don't have an outsized effect. It's more if people rake their whole yard and then were to dump the leaves in the lake, that can
Okay.
offset the natural cycle. But yeah, that's the short answer on that.
Yeah, that's when I usually do it, when the lake's down.
Yep.
Okay, I would say that, we don't give enough, but this is what we can. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in all of the lakes are truly the diamonds of this community. Without them, we'd be in trouble. So, if I could, you're working on pennies, and you're doing an awful lot, but I can only do what the voters will vote, and a lot of people don't live on the lake.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? And then to ask them for something that they don't have any access to, which I won't go into that, because I always do.
Oh, we're not gonna hear the annual speech?
No, we're not gonna hear it this year, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone, because you all know me well enough now, but.
Yeah, he snuck it in the back door.
I'm not gonna say anything,
But you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's hard to ask for something and they can't use it,
But we greatly appreciate what you are able to do and what the voters are able to fund.
All right, with that said, I'll entertain unless you got something to
Do
say.
you want it as one number, or do we have to break it down as you have it on here?
You could say because I have this, you can say it as requested, but don't forget to close the public hearing.
Yo,
please.
we're gonna close the public hearing and we're gonna vote.
Right. So I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 appropriation of $35,425 as broken down on the spreadsheet that was put forward to the select board.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Okay, I'm gonna open up the second public hearing on our agenda. And this one is a RSA 31:95-B. Requires the town to conduct a public hearing prior accepting an unanticipated revenue. This is for the Department of Safety grant. Michael, are you in charge of that?
This is for the police department. This is for 3 MDTs for us to use in our cruisers. This is 100% funded grant.
Translation,
Say again?
translation acronym.
For MDTs, essentially laptops for our cruisers.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
essentially, the good thing about this is the officers are able to get calls through the laptops while they're in the cruisers. They can attend calls if they go to an accident. This information will be backfilled while they're in the cruiser, staying out on the road. Versus what happens now, where our officers will take a call, go to an accident, head back to the PD, enter the information, and fill out the accident report. Versus here with this application and this award, when we get these laptops in our cruisers, the officers will be able to be on the road for longer periods of time.
Okay, that's the explanation. Is anybody here that wants to speak on that? You're all good with that?
And this is something I've been after for many, many years, and We are outdated and antiquated in Carroll County. I think we're one of the only agencies who do not have laptops in our cruisers, so we're finally arriving to modern technology, so.
Which I don't think is any big deal when I just saw 300 state troopers with brand new Tahoes. They got black ones and they are
We're
beautiful.
gonna get them, so.
Yeah, but I saw them today, there was lines of them, lines of them.
And it's been on the CIP.
Yes.
Yeah,
So it's been.
I need to get one more piece of paper before you finalize
okay.
it.
Yeah, I was in Concord today.
That's a chief question, because my son lives up in that area, I ride by the state trooper all the time. Are all those cars, are they using all those cruisers up there? Do you know?
I don't.
I mean, they got.
I know there are a
there
lot
are
of
a
cruisers
ton.
there, what they're using them for, whether they're spare parts or to be used at a later time, or they're brand new, or they've been rotated out on the fleet for a couple of years and they're gonna be scrapped. There's just a big parking lot, I don't know what.
Yeah, I mean, that parking lot's filled.
Yeah.
Where's that?
Up in the
Concord.
Concord. On
Yeah,
eight-
you should have seen it today. I bet it had 300 brand new black Tahoes. So the state just invested quite a bit of money, and I'm surprised they were black, not green, but
Can't see
that
it.
must be the big color this year for Chevy to donate or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah. They had some nice vehicles. They were rugged looking
the
too.
houses are nice.
Yeah. All right, so with that said, nobody's seen anything, I'm gonna close the public hearing, and,
Yeah, so I'll make a motion to have Charlie Edwards as the chair and Mark Duffy as the Board of Selectmen member to sign the grant agreement. Along with Chief Fenn.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
Excuse me, before you move on, I think that there may be other paperwork down, in case there is other paperwork down the road, are you authorizing the chair to sign any other paperwork that may come down the road on this agreement?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
we have a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Signature page there, or? Okay, that's all, Charlie.
You got three.
Yeah, Charlie, you've got to initial every single page too.
I'll do that, I'll do that here.
Sorry.
Okay, with that said, our appointments, we have a Gary Gildoy, Doyle?
Very good. Gildoy.
Gildoy. Okay, and, this is something to do with the building department, about moving a trailer, that's present on your property. If you wanna come up,
Sure. Sit down or stand or,
no, you can sit down,
good, I got emphysema.
okay? Okay, so, I've got an idea, I've been informed about it for quite some time, so, I'm willing to listen to what you got to say.
Okay, we lived here in East Wakefield. We had two intermodal containers, or a 26-foot box body, one in the front, one in the backyard. We moved to South Carolina 3.5 years ago. It wasn't what it's supposed to be down there. So I had quadruple bypass, I got emphysema on the grand scale. So we moved back. It was by far, I'm in the logistics, I was in trucking myself, just like Josh is. Not a wonderful trade, but anyway. So moving forward, it was dollar efficient for me to buy I sold the 2 containers when I was in South Carolina. So I bought a moving trailer in anticipation of moving back, because they wanted over $30,000 to move us back. And then I would have had to rent storage space because we don't have a garage big enough. So I opted to buy a 48-foot moving trailer. So we had it parked in the backyard. And that only cost me, I think, around 10 grand with the full conventional move. So anyway, times are tough, money's tight, but I didn't think anyone would object to the trailer. So I got a notification from the building inspector around December.
When was that?
23rd, I think?
The 23rd of December?
Yes.
Of last year?
Yes.
Okay,
Stating that there was in non-compliance So I emailed him, I'm not good with technology. So he said that somebody complained to the building department, and I said, well, it'd be, you know, it would have been nice if the neighbors got off their ass and knocked on our door and said, hey, you know, is there anything we can help you with, you know? The good old fashioned, you know, back in the 60s and 70s and 80s, this place was like a hopping.
Well, this is
it was-
2026,
Right,
right?
but it was cocaine central. Point Road was like cocaine central and alcoholic central. So anyway, now living in 2026, we have the not in my backyard. So somebody pissed and moaned. I guess Dr. Badman is one of them, but anyway, irrelevant to any particular name. There's several neighbors that are here. And instead of getting off their
It's enough of the language.
yeah,
Just keep it
instead of
going.
getting off their tush and coming to introduce themselves, they'd rather piss and moan and complain. They've called the cops on my son and the neighbors' kids. They're taking pictures of the neighbors, the kids, which is unethical. But anyway, back to the trailer. So we hadn't sold the house in South Carolina, so I told Peter Goslin that things were tight right now, and it would have been nicer if the neighbors came and knocked and, you know, maybe offered some assistance or some words of wisdom instead of going behind tech and doing the technology thing and hiding behind Facebook and everything. So again, so I said to Peter Goslin, we're looking for August 31st. And he said, how about May 1st? And I said, no, we can't do May 1st. I'm not gonna wreck my neighbor's driveway with a tractor trailer and destroy, you know, the yards have been mud. I have a dirt driveway on Point Road. I have an asphalt driveway on Bonnyman. So I emailed back and forth to Peter, and I said, I'd rather get along with you than not get along with you. And it'd be easier to have the neighbors, you know, get along and knock on our door. I have a 15-year, my wife and I have a 16-year-old. He just turned 16 the other day. And he's into garden tractors, and, you know, it's kind of a eyesore. But anyway, I'd rather have my son fixing, being mechanically inclined than loitering outside the 7-Eleven. Or, you know, we were down south and there's more shootings and killings and
Yeah.
hit and runs and
So,
everything.
did Peter give you,
No, Peter placed it all on you guys, saying that it was, you guys picked May 1st. So I'm asking,
but I'm asking, did Peter do this in December, or when was the first time that you guys
the
had a
first
conversation?
initiation was December. I got a certified letter,
So that means
And I
May
got it.
1st, that's 5 months.
and I got emphysema, so I moved at molasses speed. We just lost another neighbor, Richard Olson, to
Yeah, I know
emphysema. Yeah, he's a great guy, and that's how I met you. So I've reached out to some of my other neighbors. I haven't reached out to Diana Olson. She just came back from vacation. But my adjacent neighbors are Sharon Emerson behind me, or to my left of me on Bonnyman. She doesn't care about the trailer.
But it's obvious that you've got a lot of neighbors, and listen, first of all, Peter's doing his job, right?
Right.
So whatever Peter's doing, he's not doing it out of hate and
No,
discontent.
I understand
He's doing
that.
his job.
Yeah,
So my question to you is he gave you to May 1st to do that. Have you done anything
yeah,
to
I've reached out
establish
to
that?
Josh Edwards, and he said 2 to 3 days of notice would be all he'd need. I've reached out to the intermodal container.
But just so you know, Josh has reached out to you, but you've never given him the okay to do that.
Right.
So that's one
No,
of my
I
issues.
reached out to Josh, and I told him as soon as the mud season's gone, which it's raining again today, and then my son just got bitched at the other day by Gary Morrison. He's on the committee. He drove past Ben. He's into vintage garden tractors. They were built when you and I were like born.
Yeah.
So anyway, he was grading the road. Now every year since I've owned that house in 2011, I bought a crap hole. I put it together with sweat and equity, and then each year that goes by, that road gets higher and higher. So our neighbor at 33 Point Road just got about 18 to 20 yards of gravel brought in, and Karen,
But we're getting off subject,
right.
all right?
But anyway,
You're here to find out
The
what
water,
you can
the
do
water,
about your
the
travel
water
trailer.
protrudes into our yard, so my son was just grading the property, and then, that's my wife.
I
Polly.
understand, but it's my point. My point
Let me
is
say.
that we're getting off subject. You're here to.
We here, we want to
Ask-
extend,
a-
ask you extend
extension.
until August
I understand.
31st. And then can I talk quick? And because in couple months and snow time, my husband go in and out in the hospital. In couple days, I thought he gonna be die because he cannot breathe, he cannot do things. We do all the things, but only neighbors complaining do not, yes.
Taking pictures.
Yeah, take a picture like Ginger, she take a picture of the, not the
Of the
kid
neighbor.
neighbor, and she told him, say, I gonna put on a Facebook
Facebook.
page.
Which is illegal.
And that's be.
No, but
Okay,
can't
that's
say
enough.
that.
But anyway,
Yes.
that's not our problem.
Yeah,
Okay?
I just want to
My
ask you to
my
August,
thing is that
yes.
you're asking for an extension.
Yes,
My only issue is you've had 5 months to do something. And I know
I've
you're
called-
having trouble
yeah, he,
emptying it out.
Tomorrow
Yes,
morning at
yes.
8:30, I gotta be in Portsmouth for a nuclear test of my heart.
I understand. I don't want you to make me feel sympathy, because
No,
I got
no.
sympathy for you, but
Yes.
I don't,
called
that's,
Josh, I called the intermodal container companies, prices are ballistic through their roof. They're all, 2 to 3 weeks delivery time, okay? I called, I went to Middleton Lumber, so I need 6x6s to place it on the intermodal container placed on 6x6 timbers, and then I need to get E-tracks welded into it, those,
to move it.
no, I need Josh to move the trailer.
I know, but
And then
like I
I-
told you, Josh can do it in any time of the day. You've discussed that, but you've never asked him to come and do it.
Because the driveway's been too wet, I'm not
Okay,
ready.
I understand that.
Yeah, and
But I'm
it's
just
no-
saying,
yes.
don't say that he's not helping.
No,
He's
no,
willing
Josh
to
is
do
helping.
the job.
No, Josh is, I didn't say Josh wasn't helping,
But
Josh.
my point is you've had 5 months, and I'm not here, I'm not gonna argue with you. That's not what I'm up for. I'm trying to come up with a solution.
Yes.
Because Peter's doing his job.
Yes.
So he's here to try to explain. He was willing to help you. He gave you 5 months to move something, but you haven't done anything in the trailer to empty it. Because I'm
Because
assuming you're
no,
trying to
we,
empty
we,
it.
We've
we
been
tried,
to
but
the
the
trailer.
snow is coming, how can we do with the snow?
And then the
And
way
he
the
have a
trailer
health
got-
problem in and out in the hospital.
And I
So
get that,
cannot
but you
do.
just told me you got a 16-year-old son. You ain't gonna
Yes.
tell me he can't do something.
No, we were I just sent Peter an email that we were in the trailer a
Okay.
few weeks ago.
Okay.
But everything that we need in the house is packed to the front, and then it's just way too heavy for me to even
And I get
comprehend.
that, and I'm willing to, I got sympathy for you for that. I get that.
What is a reasonable time? Let's just get right down to the nuts and bolts here.
Yeah.
What is a reasonable time that he feels he can have this done?
What is your reasonable?
August 31st, I told
Yeah, become more
Peter from
warmer
the
so we
beginning.
can do it. Because right now we have a health problem.
One person, I can't.
Yes,
hear it.
okay,
Yeah.
I wanna say, because he have, if something happened to my husband, he die, I will blame all the people that blame my husband because they give him a lot of heart attack.
I understand.
Yes.
But right now,
Yeah.
this
Because
isn't
they don't
the
do
program
anything.
that we talk
Okay.
about that.
I just say, I'm
This
just
is the same-
saying,
I'm
yes.
trying to help you
Okay,
right
okay,
now,
get
so-
it, that's good, good, okay.
I'm gonna ask Peter, I'm gonna see what Peter's recommendation is, so that we can solve that.
Yes.
Peter, what is it you would like to do? Because I stand here with you because I believe you're doing your job, and that's not the issue. Do you want to extend him now, or today, or a month, or do you wanna go to August? You make the call,
It should have been gone by May 1st.
and I understand that.
You know, we gave them 4 months with respect to their neighbors to have that moved out of there. And unfortunately, like you said, nothing has happened, so I don't know where to go from there. The only thing I have to do is support the town ordinance, which is it's not supposed to be there.
I understand that. And do you understand that that's why we're here? It's because
I
it's a
understand
law
that,
that we
but
have
my
in our
husband cannot
town.
do anything. If he
I
die, I
understand.
will blame them.
I
And
understand
money
that.
is
Yes.
tight right now, as it is worldwide.
Yeah.
Um,
If they want to go, they can come and help us. They
Yeah.
want a trailer go.
Instead of
I'm
doing,
happy,
instead of doing 60 by the house
Get it, get it.
Okay.
on a dirt road.
Yes, shh, 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 shh.
It's fine.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't-
You're complaining about things that is not a concern, okay? I'm here to
Okay.
help you, I'm here to help you, so
Yes.
don't go there,
No,
all
no,
right?
I agree,
All
I
right.
appreciate all your help.
Yes,
Would it be, would it,
I-
and you're all here for this reason, right? I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm gonna ask you, can we give anything? Are you willing not to negotiate at all?
No, he's had a year.
He's had a year. Charlie, you also know that the trailer sits in mud,
I see it.
and tires being over the road all the time heat up and they get dry rotted. And when they sit in water like that, it's no time they're gone. So it's gotta get out of there, and they're never gonna get out of there.
It's fully.
Okay, I'm not asking you to,
Not
listen,
near-
listen,
not near
I'm
your
gonna
house.
cancel this right now if you interrupt,
Okay.
okay? I want you just to sit and
Okay,
listen,
I'm
even it might
apologize.
be hard, just
Okay.
listen, okay?
okay.
I just wanted to say that I talked to Gary about that one time. He asked me, came over and asked me, does the trailer, is it a problem with you? I didn't argue, but I told him, yes, it does. I pull my car in, I try to back my car out when I want to use it out of my driveway, and I can't see north because of the orange trailer. I backed out one morning, and some guy's coming down, maybe going too fast, and I back out slowly, and he has to stop. And he's sitting in his truck, pickup truck, like he's mad at me, but I can't see.
Okay.
And I have to pull in, and that's what I do. And I told Gary, he asked me if I have a problem with it. I said, yes, that is a sight problem, basically, okay?
Would you like to say something?
Yeah, to me, the extension to August 31st is a bit problematic because it's a safety issue. Last summer, I was driving down Point Road, going by their driveway, and I don't know if it was their kid or one of the friends or what, right in front of my car, I missed him by like that much, okay? If I had been a second earlier, he'd probably been dead, okay? Scared the hell out of me. I went back, and I'm bringing this up so that they can't say I didn't. I went back and I spoke with Gary about it. And said, you really gotta teach your kids to, the kids here to look before they pull out. He said, okay. And, an hour later, they're zooming up and down the road again, tearing up the road.
But does that have anything to do with the trailer?
Yeah.
We're here for the
Yeah,
trailer.
the trailer is-
Yes.
Okay.
It blocks the view.
Okay.
That kid pulled right out of the driveway. If you get it, I turned in a picture with a letter. The trailer is practically right on the road.
Yeah, I know where it
Kid
is,
comes
I
out of
see it.
there.
I'll read
So
that
you
over
extend
there.
it to August 31st, you're extending it through the 3 worst months of the year,
Correct.
when the kids are on dirt bikes and 4-wheelers.
Can I make
Yeah,
a comment?
go ahead.
I wouldn't want to be responsible for killing someone.
No, I hear you.
First of all, I think August 31st is way too much.
Yeah.
I agree with this gentleman here that it's during the summer months where that's gonna be the most hazard. So what I'm thinking, is there anywhere that trailer can be pushed so they can unload it and then get rid of it, that it's not obstructing the view?
It's gotta be pulled out and then repositioned over my neighbor's driveway and the dirt road, and then positioned in the middle of our driveway. And
So
then
the-
I have to order at least one or two intermodal containers and have them delivered. And then I have to have E-tracks welded into them. And then I gotta order the E-tracks and then weld them in for like a second tier in it, because an intermodal container, you just put it
You
in.
don't have anywhere to put the contents of that
Right,
trailer?
until the intermodal container, the trailer gets moved first, then the intermodal containers get delivered, then the E-tracks get welded in it, and then I gotta figure out if I need 1 or 2 intermodal containers, cause we don't have garage space to accommodate all the material. If I could do it again, I'd leave all the stuff in, South Carolina. But what's done is done.
Today's date is, what, the 13th?
I told Peter Goslin that in an email, that if I can get it out earlier, I will. I will be a man of my word. I've always been a man of my word. I've never sold somebody something they didn't need, and I've only sold trash. I covered 4 states, so I know what it's like to own a trucking company.
But my point is this has been going since at least December 23rd of 2025.
And we've
So
had-
you've had enough time to move stuff. And my point is you haven't emptied anything out of it.
We have emptied.
You
We
have
have some,
emptied some?
yes,
yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you're at least making an attempt. If we gave you, see, my point is if we give and you don't comply, what do we do?
Then Peter said he was gonna give me $250 a day tickets. He's gonna
Exactly.
tow the trailer without authorization and everything, which is completely ludicrous, but anyway, I said I'm a man of my word, Charlie.
I don't believe he's gonna
So-
tow your vehicle.
I will comply to August 31st or before, if I can get it, you know?
Well, we're not gonna give you to August 31st. We can't give you that. But
How about
if
July?
I think if we gave you, till June 13th, which is 30 days, because he's not gonna move it tomorrow, so we gotta comply a little
I
bit.
have 2 major appointments coming up in Portsmouth, and I'm looking to go in for,
Another surgery.
I know, but
lung
you just
procedure.
said that if you got it emptied, it can be moved. I know it can.
Right,
I have
I
one,
gotta-
I have
I
one of
gotta put it
those
up for
trailers
sale.
myself.
You can move it when it's full.
Yeah, it can be moved. So, in order to comply, because we got enough people here that will it makes it hard for us to say no.
but they're the same people that are doing 60 miles an hour down at
I don't
Burke
care what
Road.
they
What are
do.
you talking about?
I don't, that's not our concern.
You know, they're the ones that are,
Listen, you're going beyond me. You gotta listen to me,
Yeah.
okay? Because I'm trying to help you. I don't care what they do on your road. That's somebody else's issue. You know, I'm here. Okay, enough. I understand.
It's not your road too, ma'am.
Listen,
Please,
enough.
yes.
Listen, I will close it. I'll close it
Okay.
and we do nothing. You gotta be cool, okay? Please be cool.
They
I
stop.
haven't paid the road association fees.
Maybe
because
that's
the
why they
people
didn't
have
make
I
not
don't
been
care.
nice.
That's not what we're here for. So,
Okay, they've
Okay,
never
get it,
came
get
and
it.
knocked on the door
Yeah,
and said,
get
hey,
it.
how you doing?
you're not listening to me.
I bought a ship.
I can't
Yeah,
help you if you don't
stop.
listen to me.
Don't get heart attack because of them.
I improved the neighborhood.
I understand. Listen, you can't get anywhere if you don't listen to me.
Okay.
All right?
Okay,
I'm
don't
only
get
gonna
hot.
say it one more time, and then I'm gonna close it, and you're gonna get fined. All right? Peter?
Question, has it been researched to have the trailer towed somewhere where it's not in violation, next to 2 of the shipping containers that he's speaking of, to load up and have those shipping containers move back to the
That-
loading properties?
That'd be
Just a
thousands
question.
and thousands of dollars.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
So he has
I just talked to a mover today,
Okay.
and, you know,
I think the board is willing to give you something. And I'm gonna let them speak for themselves, but I don't think that you get 3 months. I think if we gave you anything in June 13th, and if it's not out, June 13th, the day starts, that you'll start getting the fund, because we're not making
I
this
can't
up.
comply to that, Charlie. I'm too sick. So I'm asking for August 31st. If I can get it out before July 31st, I will.
I know, but I can't give you to August.
There's plenty of storage places in town that you can move that trailer to, and you might have to pay a month's worth of rent for a storage.
But then I have to pay a mover with a moving truck to unload it and then bring half of it back into the house and then the other half into an intermodal container.
But you gotta concede to something, because if it's a safety issue with people up and down that road.
So will it please you if I get it pulled in the middle of the driveway and then?
Get rid of it.
There's a big rock just before your property.
It's an aluminum trailer, sir. It will not rot.
I'm not talking about rotting, I'm saying the big rock just before your trailer coming on the curb. When you come around the curb, there's your trailer sticking out in the road.
Not that much though.
And
Stick
I-
out. Not
over the
always
years,
halfway
Not
the
that
road
much,
though.
I mean.
Okay, listen, we gotta talk to me. This
Over
is,
the
this
years,
is,
I have
I
trimmed,
get their
I have trimmed all the
frustration.
trees to that corner. When we had the microburst that took out my neighbor's garage,
I understand.
Yeah, they just put
Eversource
enough.
left
Don't
all
put all
the
that
trees
thing.
on the corner, and when I was doing much better with my health, I took it upon myself to cut and remove all of
I get
that
it.
debris.
But
So,
listen,
Listen to him,
we're
Daddy,
here
quiet.
for the trailer, only the trailer. I don't
Right.
care what happens on the
July
road.
31st.
I know nothing about it.
July 31st is,
Can you give until July 31st, please?
That's through the summer, I can't. If anything, maybe we go to the end of June. It's June, somewhere in June.
Peter, you wanted to say something?
No, sir, I'm good.
No.
You're all set?
I say we go to, if we go anywhere, it's June. Because that way, the summer, the kids won't be out, that will be just getting out of school, and then they're gonna be playing, and if it is a hazard, which I'm not gonna make that decision, because I'm not down there, okay? So we're willing to compromise a little, but these people are very, they're willing to, they're understanding enough that there's been 5 months, and we do have a violation here. And I get it, I'm not the biggest rule follower, but it's been asked of you for this length of time, which you could have done more.
We've
And you
it's
got a son,
taken contents out
and
of
you
it.
got a son that's 16 years old that should be helping you. by all
Oh, he
means.
hold, but not like a big
Yeah.
guy and
But
hold
it's all-
one done one day.
It's packed in there like you
I
wouldn't believe.
get it.
Yes.
And there's heavy toolboxes that need to come out. I just talked to another neighbor from Maine. He's got a little front end loader with a set of forks, which would assist in.
If he's willing to come help you, you still got 30 days to empty it, and you should be able to do that.
Well, can we have till June 30th?
Please?
The kids don't get out of,
Yeah.
no college kid gets out of college
Until June, yes.
June.
The end of
So
June.
we're anticipating,
Mid-June,
They're out.
College kids are already out.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys wanna do? I mean,
I think the middle of June,
Yeah, I think you know, yeah. What do you
you gotta figure it out and get it done.
you gotta figure it out, and I'm gonna
well,
tell
I've
you.
made all the phone calls.
I'm telling you that we're not against you.
Well, I
okay?
think you are.
Well, then that's your choice, and you have that right, but I'm just trying to tell you, we're not against you, but you're in complete violation, and then when you have a whole street here, what do we gotta compromise a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've been 5 months, and we're willing to give you another 30 days. I think you should be able to do that. And I'm sorry,
That's
but
all right.
there's not much I can do about that, I have
Right.
I have to comply a little bit.
Well, my son might be the next one that comes to help them.
No,
I understand.
told our son don't hold them, they're not a good neighbor.
Okay,
All right.
anyway,
Yeah.
that's our decision.
Thank you.
Thank you, nice to see you. Okay,
Asshole, both, all of you asshole.
I want to ask you, my wife and I back out of that driveway, and it's a safety hazard, and nobody's doing anything about it. And that's why I'm here, and we're here, to explain to you just how bad it is. You heard what Gary said,
Yep.
and it's very, very true. You heard what I said. I slowly creep out of that driveway, and some guy coming down there in his pickup truck, maybe going to work, he has to stop. But who is responsible for that accident? If we do have an accident there, who's going to be responsible for that? Am I and my insurance company? Is the driver? Who?
listen,
What am I gonna do?
listen, if we told him he had to move it today, he's not going to move it.
Well,
You
this is
understand?
that long
But if
time
by,
to do
by
it.
court of law, if he was in the court, they would give him all this time. What we're doing is cutting it down, and he will be on, as of the 13th, which gives him the 30 days, he will start getting fines. That doesn't mean he's going to move it. That just means he'll start adding up the fines, and now we have to take him to court.
Well, if he does it in the 30 days that you're saying, we're gonna have a major snowstorm.
There's other ways, because, I've been around here for a long time. If he doesn't come in compliance, there's been an instance in the past where we've gone up there, taken it, put it on our property. He has to pay rent back to the town, and it's off the property, it's down there, and you remember that incident up there, yeah. So there is other ways to do it, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. You give him the 30 days, you didn't get it there. I'm almost willing to just go up there and pluck it off there and put it down there, and he can come down and get the stuff when he's ready. But
But
I'll
we have,
guarantee you'll be back in 30 days.
I know, Dan,
And the
and
$250,
I
you
understand
can
that,
find
but
all you want, you're not gonna.
no, that's what I'm saying. If you get it off the property and we put it somewhere here until he can get it, and we'll charge him rent, because we've done this before. We've done it actually a couple times. We've gone down and taken stuff off people's property when they're not in compliance.
all I'm trying to say is that we can tell him he has to move it today. It's not gonna happen. So if we have compassion and we try to help him, even though I don't like how he just left, and I've lost my compassion, but I still have to, if we take him to court, court's gonna say the same thing. They're gonna give him more days, and you're gonna be without. Let's try this, and in 30 days, Peter's gonna come to us, and we're gonna start issuing. We'll start issuing fines. That's not gonna matter, if he hasn't moved it then, I don't think he will move it, and we'll have to do something, we'll have to take him to court. Now, the taxpayers are gonna have to pay for him to go to court, for us to go to court, and we're gonna fight it. That's gonna take probably 3 months to get into the court system, because they're so backed up. I'm trying to mediate it enough so that we all come out of it with a little compassion, and maybe your neighbors won't hate each other, you know?
My name is Ginger.
Okay.
And I just want to say, I love Wakefield. I love it so much. It's beautiful. The first week we were here, deer in front of the house, turkeys. I was beside myself, elated. But this person next door, when he put that trailer there, all summer long, the kids across the street and his son were going in and out of that trailer. I'm not stupid. I know what they were doing. They were going in and out of that trailer doing things. And to say I'm a crappy neighbor and I'll be responsible for his death is ridiculous, because his son had a fire going during a burn ban in New Hampshire, and they were pouring gasoline on it, and my house is a foot away. I was terrified, and I'm terrified still. I don't want to live here now.
I understand, but again, we're here for a trailer, and I can't make your neighbor perfect. Yeah, I just can't. And all I can do is try to have a little compassion, enough so that maybe something gets done. If it doesn't get done, my compassion goes out the door. We've just given him his final notice. Peter's gonna make sure of that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I
I think you
can't,
should have done, Charlie, and I'll tell him how to do his job. Should have, if he didn't have it out by the 13th, make it retroactive back. And his 250 will start, have to go all the way back, and start again.
I understand that, Dan, but the court doesn't allow that.
Actually, the court may award it from the 18th of December, but the courts also want to see, I've done this many times, the judge wants to see that we are working with individuals, especially in a code enforcement case. They're more lenient than you think they are in the court systems. So because we've given him till May 1st, and the attorneys advised us to hold off until May 13th for tonight's meeting, and now we've given him another extended amount, that will tell the judge that we have worked with him more than enough.
Correct. So we'll have much more teeth to pull, be able to make something happen. That's why I'm telling you, just hang in there just a little longer, and we're on to it. But I can't make you move your car in your yard if you didn't want to. So this guy obviously is stubborn enough, and I get it, and I have a little compassion, but I lose it when someone can't sit and have a good conversation and talk to their neighbors, because it's neighbors. I mean,
Right.
he's gonna live on your street. You either get along or you shysting. I get that, but we gotta give him something, or the court would give it to him, and it'll take all summer to get to court. Let's work this way, and then once the fines start going, I can't promise him he's gonna move it, but he can't tell me that nobody's willing to. He's just not letting them. Because I know more about it than you think. So I think this is a good ending, because this is it. Go ahead.
Another concern, Charlie, is a pod allowed, I should ask the building, a pod's allowed in town?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
A storage container specifically is allowed, but a tractor trailer is not.
So he could get a pod and put it in.
Correct.
Correct. Yes, sir.
One last thing.
Yeah,
But it has to meet
I rent
setbacks.
space
too.
at Buchanan's down by Hannaford's.
Yeah.
And I have 3 trailers in there that's like 75 feet long, and I think it's like $75 a month.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money.
No, and I get that.
In this
but
room, in this room.
I can't tell him that he has money. I don't know. I don't know the man at all. He's obviously seen me somewhere, but I don't know him. I just want you to know that as a select board, we have to come up with a solution, and because we're just gonna fight in court. And like Peter said, the court's pretty lenient with these things.
You might want to slide one of those flyers in his mailbox or something, because I was thinking the same thing. It'd be cheaper for him to move it to a storage place until he can deal with this than get the $250 fine, but not
Yeah.
get rid of it.
But I don't think I think he's gonna be I don't think he's gonna be compliance, so you're just gonna have to wait it out, and we're gonna do the best we can, but he's on his last straw,
Thank
and
you.
Peter's taking it from here, and we'll make sure it happens,
Thank you.
okay? All right,
Thank you, Charlie.
this is tough, you know.
I have to tell you, Cheryl Morrison, I'm married to him. At first, I called the Allied Moving Company that's on the side and called them up and I said, hey, you know, I live on Point Road and there's this tractor trailer in the backyard and it's been there months now and can you guys kind of get it out of there, like, now? He goes, oh, what's the number on it? And I gave it to him. He said, oh, we sold that to Gary Gildewy, and he was supposed to paint over all that stuff. And I said, well, he didn't, and it's not yours? And he said, no, it's his. And I said, oh, okay. Just want to let you know, he's still advertising for your company.
Well, anyway,
Amazing.
thanks for coming.
Yeah.
And, sorry for
Thank
the.
you guys, thank you.
We'll do the best we can.
How's your dad?
Dan's doing good. Everything's good, Dan. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing great.
Yeah. I see that. Used to be a lot more active.
Yeah, break your hip, boys.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Oh,
I got used to it.
I've known him forever. Okay.
I guess I gotta take a ride up there.
Yeah, it's. Okay, unscheduled matters, public comment.
I'm not on the, I'm not commenting on anything on the agendas. Can I
No, go
say?
ahead if you want.
Hi, Mark.
I know what she's coming for.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm
This
on
is
the
gonna be part of
Conservation
my
Commission,
liaison report
and
anyway.
I have spoken to Mark about this several times. Tracks, we have, the Lions Club and the Conservation Commission alternately, over the past 2 years, have collected more than 2,500 pounds of plastic through the 2 bins that we have at the transfer station. We go and collect it twice a week, you know, twice when you're open, and then deliver it to Hannaford's or Market Basket or wherever else we need to. Actually, it's those 2 places. I do have a copy for you, but
Thank
I
you.
was just gonna, never mind, it's okay, I
I'm
don't
gonna
need
use
it.
it to go right.
Well, no, I don't
You
need
give
it.
it to me after.
Anyway, Trex offers a baler for free to you. And what we all do is we still collect the plastic for you. I mean, the Lions will still be happy to be part of that, or the Conservation Commission in any case. I'm not sure how long the Lions wanna keep doing this, but, anyway. You have to bale it, you have to store it, and they will come and take it.
Okay.
And when they come and take it, it goes against, their poundage goes against the cost of the baler. So you pay for the baler in the plastic that you give to them. And so the baler gets paid off. And I know it takes a while for that to happen, okay? A bale is 750 to 1,000 pounds, okay? And so you'd need, let me see.
So you said you've done 2,500 pounds in what length of time?
We've been doing it for 2 years.
2 years.
But again, we are not, you know, we don't have it as many places as it could be. I started doing this individually, and I had 2 people from the Lions Club that were helping me originally. And so for us we got 1,000 pounds in less than a year, and then we got another 1,000 pounds in less than a second year. Now we're at about 2,500, almost closer to 28 at this point. And we're at 2 years now, just about. But they've changed their program for people like me or us, the Conservation Commission and Lions Club. Not that it matters to us. I mean, our goal was to get the plastic out of the landfill, and we've done that. We've done that. It's like 7.5 truckloads that you would need in order to pay for this.
Where's the cost of it?
It's
Just
scanning
through.
Yeah, I don't know if did they put the cost on the thing?
What, of
On the
the
specs?
baler?
They give the specs.
Okay, well, she had told me that it's $18,000,
So we'd have to pay.
and you get 14 cents a pound.
So we'd have to.
No, you don't have to pay it. The poundage of the plastic would go against the cost of it. So you wouldn't get any money for your plastic until after that baler is paid off, and
So you
then
don't
once
have
it's
to pay-
paid off,
So you don't have to pay for it up front.
no. And once it's paid off, you get 14 cents, well, and today, you get 14 cents a pound. So I've given you some information about how successful their program has been. It isn't very old, and it has increased, it says like 227 times in the past, like 2 years since they started it, that the news notice is from November 2024. So, you know, it's very good. They purchase 30 million pounds of plastic a month in order to make the stuff that they make. Benches and flooring and everything else that they do.
All right, well, we'll read into it and
Okay,
You said the
And
bill
we'll
was
let Mark-
18,000 is
Well,
what you said?
you
18
know,
pounds.
I'll just chime in a little bit on this. This is the first time I've seen pictures of it, and I'm glad you got pictures, because I never have seen that portion. I've seen all the stuff ahead of this, but not this. So thank you for bringing it. It doesn't look like it's 11 feet tall from what I'm seeing. And it doesn't look like it's all that wide. I know Brock, I've talked to Brock about this before. He was worried about the manning of it. You know, where is he gonna put it in the storage of the bales? You know, I don't think these bales are that big. They
They
have,
must be able to be stored outside.
No, they have to be stored inside. They have to be
Yes, yes.
stored,
Oh, no kidding.
they have to be dry.
And I can tell you that the only storage that we have down there, that's pretty full most of the time, because
Well-
of the barn that we built down there, and that's for assuming the paper goods down there, to keep that dry.
Corrugated, yep.
Well, and you have cans in there that's full on one side, and how often do those get picked up? And you have,
I don't know,
and
that's
there's
why we'll have to
plastic down
discuss
there
it,
that
we'll
he's,
figure it out.
you all are
with
waiting for somebody to buy, but it seems to me that the plastic bales don't necessarily need to be under, you know, they could be stored someplace else.
Well, that's what I was saying, can the plastic be outside?
Not this plastic, but the plastic, the hard plastic that are still getting baled and stored in that, building, those could be put outside,
Yeah,
because,
see, I don't know, that's what I'm saying, we'll have to discuss it, that'll be, you know, you as
Yeah,
a
I'll-
liaison for the conservation.
I'll talk to Brock about it, see if I
Right.
can't get down there some afternoon and go look
You
at,
know-
because,
It's 128,000 pounds of plastic.
and you know what, Mark,
It would
we are,
literally take, will be dirt
I mean,
before it's paid
Thomas,
for. I'm
Tom.
Sorry.
sorry. When we are weighing it, we are weighing it with a fish, scale, or some people are standing on their bathroom scales to weigh it. So our weights are so not accurate. They are a ballpark. So I have no idea if we really have done more. And every bale that you have would be 750 to 1,000 pounds. So, it's different. I think it would be different if we were doing this with a baler.
Right, I'm
You
just,
know?
so I took your 2,500 and said, you know, make it more efficient, right? Easily to collect and all that kind of stuff. So I just took the numbers and divided it by 2,500, assuming 2,500 a year instead of the 2 years. And it still comes up to 51 years.
Before we pay it off?
It's a long, it's 14 cents a pound divided by $18,000. Right?
yeah, I think that was the other.
It's a big, it's gonna, the payoff on it is, it's a long time.
Oh, yes, it may be a long time, but the payoff is also environmental. So,
Yep.
you know,
Is there
But-
any condition, let's say, you know, and I'm just being devil's advocate a little bit, because if, let's say, the machine breaks,
there's warranties on the machine.
there's warranties on the machine, but for how long? And, you know, like, if we're still paying for this, we let's say we haven't got it paid off, but we're, you know, you got warranties, but those run out.
Well, I think that's true of any
Yeah,
piece of
I know.
equipment that you have.
And the other
How long
question
have
I
your
have
balers
is,
that you
do
have
we
right
have
now?
three-phase power down there?
We don't at the moment.
Really?
We don't have three-phase down the
Oh.
transfer station?
For the electricity,
Yeah,
I believe we do.
okay.
I was gonna say that.
See, I'm seeing that word again,
Heavy duty
three-phase,
down there.
Yeah,
three-phase.
yeah, I realize it now. Yeah, I believe we do. I don't see anything bad about it, I'm just like, I just I mean, I don't know anything about it, and that's why I'll leave it up to you to talk to Brock, and then you can come back to us. and-
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna invite him to come back here and speak on this too, because,
So,
you know.
right now, we only have one collection point
Right.
place, right? And, you know, as much as I'm wanting to get the plastic out of the world, the environment, it's been really difficult for a few people to be doing this. So, but if we knew that the town was gonna have their own baler, we would put other collection points in our town. Like the one, we'd put one at Level 8 grocery store, we'd put one over at A and B, and that would increase the amount of plastic bags that we get. Because right now, people are not necessarily remembering that they have
But again,
this
if
connection.
you took okay, just say that you cut what he just said in half, that's still 25 years.
Okay, so what?
Yeah.
It's 25 years, you're not putting 2,500 pounds of plastic into the waste.
No,
You know?
I don't think it's a bad thing, by all means.
Yeah.
I can't make that decision today. I'd rather,
No, I know,
make sure
I just
that-
wanted, Mark had said he didn't have all the information.
Yep, no,
I
and
said,
and
you
that's
have a
what I
meeting
want.
Wednesday night, I'm gonna come.
Yeah, no, that's
I
fine.
appreciate it, because I never had this portion.
Right.
This portion's
Right,
important to me.
Yeah,
And we'll let Mark do his liaison report with that, and
all
It
right.
doesn't look like it's a large machine, but the thing that I know Brock had an issue with was the storage of the stuff and the
workers,
the
I know, and
workers
I've spoken with the gentlemen, because they've been so kind to us, those of us who pick up the plastic from there. And there are times when somebody will forget that they're supposed to go on Saturday, and so nobody shows up until Monday, and the bins are over full, so they'll pull it out and just put it underneath someplace so it stays dry for us, and we get it. And they're very, you know, they don't have a problem with that. The other thing is, they're saying it's better for them because they take the plastic out of the trash barrels, that people just throw their plastic into the trash barrels and put it in our bins. And that means they don't have to empty their trash barrels quite as often too, so that, you know, it's been helpful to them too.
All right, I'll get with him.
So just one question, just.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you could, I would be curious. So we talked about the warranty and how long the thing would last, so I know, you've already heard my earlier comment. So let's say this thing lasts 12 years, and we still haven't.
Paid it out,
We've only done $9,000 worth. This thing dies.
right?
What, are we on the hook for the $9,000?
I mean, that's a question, and I haven't asked them that, okay? But my guess would be yes, or else, you know, we would return the baler.
Which wouldn't be working.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said it broke.
Right, so I'm saying, you know, like we've had to replace our balers where they just get to a point where they're not
They're not even
repairable anymore.
yeah.
Right.
And they're, I mean, ours are different than this and they're more money, but I'm looking at this and saying, okay, I hear what you're saying, so look, we accelerate it, but you're still accelerating, it still could be 10, 15 years before this is paid down. And so if it breaks and is not repairable, are we, the town, on the hook for it?
Yeah, that'd be another
And
question
there's,
too.
I'm sure Brock will have, there's probably some cost to hooking up 3-phase, where's it gonna go, so there's some money
Right.
involved.
Well, that's, I
Right.
mean, you know, where it's
He'll
not.
know all that.
Where it's not that big and stuff, can this be outside? You know, and that's something it looks like it would be one unit you'd wanna keep inside.
Actually, you know, I don't know what he has behind there now, but remember where you used to
Yeah.
put the plastic?
Yeah.
Right, cause that's, there's
So there's
nothing there now,
space.
right,
Yeah.
cause they moved all that.
So the other,
shipped all that stuff around.
you know, thing that I would throw it to you is that, if I were to get a grant for the $18,000, so that we would just pay for it. And you wouldn't pay for it, it would be paid for. So, I mean, just keep that in mind. I will work on doing that and, you know, through the Conservation Commission. And, because there are grants out there that we just haven't had a, you know, thing to do it for. But if I did that, you know, I know it's an if, but I really would love to see us part of this grassroots movement.
Let me ask you a question too, with, I was a little bit confused. Are the small trash bags, can they go in there?
Every kind of bag can go in there.
Okay, every kind of bag.
Every kind
Okay.
it gives you a list of bread bags, produce bags, newspaper sleeves, pallet wrap and stretch film. Not, you can't do boat, though, but you know, people are getting pallets, like if, Level Lake is getting a pallet full of stuff, I can collect all of their plastic. We don't take their plastic right now because we are not enough people doing that. But if we had the motivation of something like this, what happens to it now is we take it from the transfer station and we drive it down to Hannaford's or, you know, in Rochester or up to Ossipee. So it's, you know, it's a challenge for the volunteers that are doing that. But we're doing it, you know, salt and ice bags, cereal bags, case overwrap, bubble wrap, wood pellet bags, plastic shipping envelopes, dry cleaning bags, Ziploc, and other reclosable storage bags. So yes, all your garbage bags can also be part of that too.
Okay.
Okay? It just can't take boat wraps, which is too bad, because look at this town.
Very
Thank
good.
you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time.
I appreciate getting that information too.
Okay, that, unscheduled matters, unfinished business. 26 Granite State Clean Fleets Grant Program, what's that?
That's the grant for the fire truck.
Oh, this is for the fire trucks thing? Oh, come on up here, Todd.
So the first one is just filling out this certificate of authority, which is the next step. So we'll talk some more, but I'm gonna just make the motion to approve having Dino sign this
Right. 'Cause we need to-
certificate of authorization, right? Because that's the next step. You gotta include this plus a couple other pieces.
Yeah, there's some more stuff that
Right, so I'll make the motion to have Dino sign this.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Thank
you.
Okay. Now, what is it that we're here to discuss tonight with this on the agenda?
Yeah, so I just, well, it was on the agenda, so I was just piggybacking on it. So, with some of the information that had come across, just, I dug a little deeper so when I got the thing from Jack Wade, or, you know, that we got copied on saying we got to through the first step.
Yeah.
So it made me think of sort of the timing of all these pieces. You know, when you buy it, you know, when we take delivery of it, which that may be one and the same or close together, all that kind of stuff, and then when do we put it into service, and then send the paperwork to the grant people, and when do they send us the money, right? So when I was looking into that sort of timeline part of it, it brought me onto their website, and I found that Q&A that I sent out to the group, and so it had some information in there that I wanted to share with all of us, because when we were discussing it at our last meeting, some of these things we talked about, but you know, I don't think we really quite saw all the details to all of it. So it was just new, like we were, as an example, we were talking about, at one point in the conversation, we were talking about that what we really need is a $250,000 short-term loan. Or, you know, we need a loan to carry us. That's what my timeline thought process was going. You know, it's, so, you know, we pay for it, take delivery of it, we have to destroy the old one, and then we have to send all that paperwork to the state, and they're gonna reimburse us. So we need to borrow money from here to here. So I was trying to figure out what that timeline was, and then you had done the 2-year lease, and Dino had given us that 3-year lease, this part of it, and it had me think, well, why would we borrow money for 2 or 3 years? That shouldn't be 2 or 3 years, it should be, and I don't know the answer. I think it's worth perhaps reaching out to, I'm gonna just use Jack Wade because his signature was on this piece of paper, and saying, you know, how long, once we put it into service and kill the old unit and send you the paper, because they're gonna have when we get that final document, they'll have that kind of spelled out. You gotta do this, 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 this.
I think it's already spelled out in there somewhere. I think I read through and saw.
On the stuff that you might have sent me.
Saw that stuff that he sent. I think there's a timeline in there. I think it's within
They said we have to send it to him by the end of 2027.
Oh, okay, but then for his reimbursement to come back.
Right, we have to do all of our stuff
Right,
in
right,
2027.
yes.
But I'm kind of thinking of it in reverse, because I think that we get scored on different criteria. One of the criteria you get scored on is how quickly we can turn this over. And I'm sure we scored high on that, because we're ready to go. So I'm kind of on the opposite end, you know, they said in here, you just have to get it done by the 12/31/27. I'm looking at it the opposite way, saying, once we're done, which hopefully this will be done in, I'll make it up, 60 days, right? I mean,
Yeah, I would say 2 months, that would be
right,
good.
60 days, we could, you know, we could buy it, take delivery of it, put it into service, and kill the other unit in 60 days. So then, once you submit that paperwork to the state, how much longer does it take the state to
them
give
to
us
pay
the
back.
$250,000
Yes.
back?
So that we don't
So then
have
we
the
only have
interest
to,
payment.
so then we are only borrowing money for 90, or maybe we say 120 days instead of.
But don't we have a certain amount of days that you have to have, so what's that, 60,
Yeah.
90 days?
What's that?
Well, when you borrow it, you can't just pay it back the following month. You have to, you're gonna end up with a certain amount of days.
Right, but you're looking, when you go through the Q&A, and I don't wanna get into the details of leasing and not leasing, but what they tell you can do is you can take out a conventional loan. So we go to TD Bank or we go to Profile Bank, which are two big banks. TD Bank has a whole program for lending money to municipalities. That's as far as I got. Then it said, call your account representative.
Well, I talked to
So,
Dean.
so it's just, you know,
Dean
so
about
are we
that.
better off, because looking at that Q&A, it says, you know, don't lease. It's $250,000. I don't wanna screw it up, right? I wanna make sure we do it the right way. So if we can borrow money from TD Bank for 120 days, it should cost us less in interest than doing a 2-year lease agreement. And we're in compliance with their Q&A, because their Q&A says you can't lease it, but you can take out a conventional loan. You know, that we're just on the up and up.
Wasn't, dude, couldn't we pay that off early? Because it's like lease purchase, right? So
You
it's
can
not-
pay it off early, but you have to
You're
go
paying-
so many months.
You're paying the interest. They're
Right,
still
yeah.
hitting you with the big interest payment. I
We're
think
gonna
is
get
what-
hit with interest no matter what we do.
Right, but there's a big difference between, so
The
that,
playing devil's advocate, I guess, the only thing I could see is, I realize we've been accepted step 1, you know, and I know there's more steps to come. What if we get to the last step and they said, oh, no, well, now you don't, you know? So, and if we take a 120 day loan,
right.
and it doesn't come through, now we need the 250. So do we then, I'm just thinking of backup.
Right.
So we would go back to borrow to pay off the 120 loan?
Well, no, so that comes back to one of their other Q&As though, which says that we can't do this until we get approval. Right, so one of their pieces on this Q&A said, we can't buy the unit until we get executive council approval. That was in this,
Well, to hold it,
it says, well, let me put the caveat on there. You have to get a, I think that was the one that says, so we can, if we're gonna do that, we have to get their approval first. Is what the Q&A said.
Signature.
So it says, I've been notified my project's been selected, when can I
What's
start?
this here?
It says you can't start until it's been approved by the governor's executive council. So at that point, of course, we already know the dollar and it's already approved. But we can get approval to start early. So that, we'd have to, if we wanna go that route, before I answer, I understood your question, but we'd have to go to them first to say, listen, this is what we wanna do, is it okay to do it? You know, can we put down a deposit, can we do this, can we do that? Cause they're saying in here, you can't buy it until we approve it.
well, last meeting, we agreed that we wanted to hold it. The only way we could hold it was to sign the contract to get it from Georgia to Massachusetts.
Right, I think Charlie had talked about, you know,
And
maybe
so the
putting some-
contract was signed, and so it's on its way to Massachusetts. It should have arrived either today or tomorrow.
Right.
And they're getting ready to,
But we didn't have to give them any money, is that what I?
not till delivery. We went through and we found an issue with the contract that said they wanted the money, which I don't know why, when it arrived in Massachusetts. I said, we've never done that. They said it's when it arrives here. They're talking 2 weeks it's gonna arrive here.
Yeah, I mean, we don't, I mean, I can only, I mean, without the grant, I'm not comfortable with moving forward with the project. So I think we need to wait to see if we get the grant.
But we need 100%, we need it approved, and before the grant will move forward, we need the town, if I read it right, the town, needs to have the money to buy it before they will give us the grant. It won't come unless we buy the truck.
So I think we need to have some more conversation with them, because to me, it's a little cryptic. You know, he said, we've been approved at this first stage, the grant may cover up to 250,000, so they're quoting the number that we put in there of 80% eligible costs. So I guess the question to them is, are they, does it look like they're gonna give us 250,000 or not? Cause that's the big.
If we do what we were originally doing, take the 2-year loan to go with the 500, then we're still anticipating the grant's gonna come through and we'll pay it off. And if it doesn't come through, we've still got the truck and to buy at obviously quite a bit lower price at $750,000. There's nothing else out there at that price right now.
But
Correct, but with that said, every year, it's on the warrant article for about 75,000. That's going to cover that payment for the year.
No, it won't.
It doesn't cover the payment.
The 100 will.
Oh, it's the 100, which
It
would
came in at 95, I believe.
What we asked this year?
100 this year.
100. So anticipating that, because we ask for it every year, right? That would be covered if the grant failed.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of covered in just knowing through the years that this has always been, you know.
Well, see, that's what kind of what I thought when we first were discussing this, is that it's a great deal, and that's why we were going with that municipality company that we applied for and got approved. And I kind of thought it was kind of like a backup plan for if we don't get the grant, we're still getting a great truck for a great price.
Yeah.
But what Tom was saying is that if we purchase this right now, that it's going to affect us getting the grant.
That's what this says.
So I've been thinking about this.
But if the grant can't come without purchasing it, I think it's contradicting itself.
Right, it does.
It also says.
So we need more information.
But it also says you also can't lease it.
Well, we're not leasing it because we're not leasing the whole vehicle. All we're doing, I looked at the paperwork for
It's
the.
right here. We're gonna do a deal with the tax exempt leasing corp, but you're saying it's not a lease. It's a lease. I'm sorry, I disagree with that.
Well,
It's a lease.
let's say hypothetically, if we defaulted on the money we borrowed from them, they can't take the whole truck.
Sure can.
It's
I mean, I'd love to see the paperwork where it says that we get to keep the truck if we don't make that payment. I bet they take that, I bet they take that.
I don't know about that, but I think it's.
I mean, we're only looking at one page, which is their
They're a
quote.
lease purchase company, so is it a purchase or a lease? We're purchasing a truck.
So these are questions that we just need to get answered
Right.
tomorrow.
And the other thing I was thinking too, because I've been thinking about this all day, because Tom brings up some really good points, and we know someone on the executive council. Can we call him up and let's push this thing?
Well, I think he would be a good resource if we don't, I mean,
At
first
least
of all,
get the-
I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
I would probably start with this guy here, because his name was all over the website too. This guy, Jack Wade. I'd probably start with him.
Yeah.
And then if we're not getting responded to.
Well, Dina's back in the office tomorrow.
Not to push on Joe, Joe probably doesn't have a lot of familiarity with this. So he would probably kick it to, he'd say, well, let me get the New Hampshire DES commissioner to call you. Because I'm not saying not use him as a resource.
Dino
but I'd
can
probably start with
research a
this guy.
conventional loan tomorrow too, and like a
I just think
5-year conventional loan.
It's just, I want to make sure we do it to set ourselves up for success. And the two things that worried me the most was in here, I think it's a gray zone where we might borrow the money on the 2 and the 3 year deals. So, and they clearly say you can't do a lease. So that leaves me a little uncomfortable. And then the second part was, we did talk about it at the very beginning of the conversation, we did talk about looking at a conventional mortgage, conventional loan. Cause it might be cheaper for us, right? These are costing us 20 grand.
And we can pay it off at any time.
Right.
Correct.
See, and
And
so
which-
these are the things we just need to clarify. Go ahead, Tony.
Well, I just want to point out that in two of those sections that you highlighted, Tom, it says that we can't spend any money unless we have prior approval. So maybe that's part of the key too,
Right.
is getting the approval to move forward,
Yes, so I think when we-
regardless of what loan you know.
Correct, so I think when we talk to Jack, that would be, one of the pieces would be, here's what we're thinking of doing.
Right.
We're hot to buy this, we got it lined up. Can we, what can we do
Can we
without
do it?
jeopardizing
Right.
our grant? Cause that's, in here it says we need your prior approval, and they may just say, oh, we do that all the time, or it may just say, oh,
Yeah, right.
I gotta talk to 5 other people and.
So that's where it stands. So, but we need to do this shortly because.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That as the liaison, that's your job tomorrow.
I think another thing that's important is to find out how long it takes for this to go. Once we submit everything, what's the turnaround from Governor Council?
Right, because they really don't, they gave us the next deadline, they say was submit all this paperwork by 23rd of May.
Yeah.
But then they don't say, like you just mentioned, they don't say.
Governor Council meets only a couple times a month,
That's what
I think. And they usually, you guys get on an agenda that could be 3 months out.
Right. So.
Well, that's why you need that.
That's why we need the written approval to go ahead, because we need the.
Right, well, not only that, we also need that cushion.
Yeah.
Like Todd was saying, let's say this blows up, we still want that truck.
Correct. Because I think it's,
And we've got probably a 2-week window before they want to deliver it.
yeah, so we need to move tomorrow.
Right.
And at least get the answers that we need, then we'll figure out what we want, how we want to how we want to buy it.
Do you suspect
I
Dino's
get
gonna
what
go to
Tom's,
the office tomorrow?
He will be in
he's done the
tomorrow,
study.
but not all day Friday, half a day Friday. So he'll be in tomorrow.
Okay. He knows this is hot, because I talked to him today.
He knows,
so.
he knows this is hot.
All right.
What Tom said makes sense.
I mean,
So-
I know,
Yeah, I know.
and and I'm not trying to, I'd be more than happy to make the phone calls, Dino make the phone calls, I'm not trying to push this to anybody.
Why don't
think-
we have him call this, Jeff, is it Jeff?
Jack,
Jack.
Matthews, his name.
Call Jack.
And ask those questions, because
Yeah.
you're more in tune with it.
Right, I mean, I just wanna make sure we do it right and set ourselves up.
Or do we want Todd to call Jack? I don't know. Who's?
If Stephen worked on it, I don't know when Stephen's on again, he told, I'm not sure if he's on tomorrow or not.
I think you
But
should
if
call
you
because
wanna-
you've got the
being
right
the town-
wording.
Right.
Being the town official, you can call him and just work with Dino and just see what see what you
Right,
get for
I mean,
answers.
I wanna just set us up to put us in the best spot to get 250 grand.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want it to
That's what
fail.
gets me excited, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, I don't wanna get to the end zone and then have them say, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, I'm afraid of
Did you
step
guys just
4.
take delivery of that 3 weeks ago? Oh, well, we won't do it then.
Yeah.
And we're like, ready to get it delivered to the executive council for 250 grand and we put the cart
Yeah.
before the horse.
So what are you waiting for?
I told you before.
You've
I'm
already
trying
done
not
all
to-
the research.
I'm trying not to,
You've already done all the research. Now you need to make it happen.
I don't wanna overreach.
No, we want you to. That's why this is one of those
So
spots.
I will collect my thoughts a little bit better, and I will reach out to this guy, and, cause I was looking at how many, cause this isn't a new program, this has been around.
Oh, the
Different phases of
DOT ran off that
Yeah.
5 years ago or better. They got rid of a lot of stuff.
So I went onto their site, and you can click on all the different towns and see what other towns got and how much money they got. Now, those were different phases, so they're probably a little more conservative. The most I saw was now again, there's that whole 80-20 deal,
Right.
So ours is unusual because it's such a big purchase.
Right.
The biggest number I saw was for plow trucks. They gave 219,000. I don't know what the magic is number with that was,
Right.
but they gave it to like 4 or 5 towns, got 219,000 for plow trucks.
Yeah.
A lot of it was smaller, 20 grand, 25 grand, but there was like a school bus in there that was like 50. But The
Okay.
biggest I saw was the 219 for plow trucks. I did nothing like our fire truck, and at least that I.
So we'll just move on it tomorrow and we'll have a better answer tomorrow.
Yeah.
If we get a hold of them, at least you'll have your answers and then we'll figure out which direction that we gotta go.
We'll have, I can have Dino, do the backup plan for a conventional loan if that's
Right,
what we need.
I'll touch base with him on that, because I
Okay.
know he knows the TD Bank guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we have, because most of our, right?
All right, so
I think we
you,
just use profile.
so you're gonna
to
run with this, huh?
Deposit it, and then it flips over
Yeah.
to TD Bank. All our money's with TD Bank.
Okay.
So we'll have more leverage there than with
all
profile.
right, so you're gonna be around, so you're gonna run with this.
Yep,
Perfect.
and I'll try to get this guy to put his, whatever, I'll obviously take notes, but I'll also see if we can write an email to me to just, especially if we get the approval to do the purchase thing in advance. That I want him to shoot.
And then, like you said, the time frame of actually when it'll happen.
Right, when are we gonna get notified of what the dollar amount is that they're approving? Cause they may do their scoring and they may say, oh, you guys are gonna get 150,000. You're not gonna get the whole 250 asked for, cause I'm
Yep.
sure they do some of that stuff. I'll ask him all those questions. I mean, he may say, I have no idea yet,
Yeah,
Right.
but
Okay. So that's where we stand.
all right.
You good with that?
That's
That's what we have to be. Yeah, I know.
Because if we end up having to cancel it, I don't know what we're gonna end up doing, because we're gonna owe them some money.
Yeah, well, I don't
Because
think
they've
we're
already-
canceling. I just think we'll have a plan, figuring out where to go. But right now, we don't wanna screw up the grant, if the grant will come, even if it is 150.
Right.
It's 150 that you don't pay, and then you only get 1 year.
Still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money, so, I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's why you gotta go with you gotta go with an extended plan, because,
Yeah.
in the conventional loan, like you say, might be a better avenue, because we could just pay it off.
Yeah.
But let's do
Let's go with that.
go with the investigation, see where we are.
All right, let's move on. Thanks, Tom.
Thank you for coming over.
Okay, new business, we have none.
No, sir.
Capital reserves, we have none.
No, sir.
Correspondence, none.
No.
And it looks like no comments in the audience, none. Are you the Mrs. Town Administrator?
No, I am not. You don't have any administrator's update tonight.
Okay, building permit releases, none? We
None.
have, okay, we got poll, petition poll leases. And it looks like we got 2.
You do.
Mark, you wanna take care of that?
Yep, we have, let me see here. We have, one on Level Lake Road. And we have one, they're both
think
on
they're
Level.
both.
Yeah, they're both on Level Lake Road.
I'll entertain a motion to accept both of them at once.
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Tax collector's monthly report, you've seen that.
Tax bills are out.
What's that?
Tax bills.
Tax bills are out? Good, good. Payment manifest, do we have one?
Well, yeah. Where do you think I did with that? Left it in the mailbox.
Well, what is up with that, Miss Boda?
Wow.
So while Tony's getting that, if I can jump in, Mr. Chairman.
Please do.
One of the things I'd like to do is, I've spoken to both of you folks in the select board of the town of Wakefield would like to recognize this as National Police Week and extends its sincere appreciation to the members of the Wakefield Police Department, our leadership, Chief Fenton, Lieutenant Waldron, Sergeant Cherry, Sergeant Genrock, and all the folks that work in our police department for their dedication and service to our community. Each day, our officers serve with professional integrity and commitment while working to protect the safety and well-being of our residents, visitors, and businesses. We recognize the many sacrifices made not only by law enforcement officers, but also their families who support them in this important work. During this week, we also pause to honor and remember the officers across our nation who have lost their lives in the line of duty, including those remembered on Friday, which is National Peace Officers Memorial Day. Their courage and service will never be forgotten. On behalf of the town of Wakefield, we thank the members of the Wakefield Police Department and all law enforcement personnel for their continued dedication, service, and commitment to our community.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Good job.
Just along those lines, I also want to put forward, I was not on the board when all this took place, but I want to give my thanks to the previous board, Charlie, Mark, Dino's hard work. I know that Representative Alini was involved with it, as well as Joe Kenny for the work that they did to work with the state on the Gage Hill intersection. and the flashing lights that the state's gonna put up, around, flashing lights around a couple of the
Stop
existing
signs.
signs that are there now to bring attention to that, so, great job, and thank you guys for all your hard work doing that, and the other people that were involved with that.
Let's wait and see if it happens.
I
The
feel
signs
pretty
are up.
confident it's
The
not.
signs are up?
Yeah, the signs are
Oh, I
up.
didn't see them today.
Yeah, well, they got it. They got, you know, the intersection with the railroad tracks on the sign, and the top of the poles, they haven't put the lights on them yet.
Oh, I
But they're
didn't see
there.
that.
The new stop signs are there, and the signs on the road are there.
I did think I saw new stop signs or something. They look brand new, and I saw the flags on the ground, so I'm assuming they're just, oh, very
And
good.
even better yet, you know, with the continued push of some of the members of this board, the maintenance of it is being handled by the state.
That's
So,
correct.
great job. So again, I wanna just show my thanks and also update
Because
the
the-
public that after lots of discussion that your representatives, both here locally and at the state level, did a great job
worked.
making that happen.
Very good.
Next thing I wanna do is just bring up, police department, has been posting their numbers. So in March, they had 883 calls with 34 criminal investigations and 16 arrests. For April, they had 1,114 calls, 26% increase, 20 criminal investigations and 11 arrests. So our PD has been very busy. You know, obviously, our population starts to increase, a lot of those snowbirds come back. Obviously leading to some increased calls as well as some other things happening. So, again, great job for our PD, doing their work there. I have more things, but I'll let you want to jump to your warrant.
Yeah, we'll go to that, and then you'll have your chance on G. All right, we got a payment manifest of $233,779.06. Can I get a motion to carry that, please?
So moved.
Go. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I also have a treasurer's warrant for $128,002.14. Can I get a motion to carry that, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, and I need you guys to sign the town clerk's things also. With that said, I'll go to the minutes real quick.
Why did that? Whole folder.
I think I got all the rest of it.
April 22nd, 2026. We were all there. Can I have a motion to carry those minutes if we have no changes?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
I also have non-public minutes for April 22nd, 2026, draft 1, draft 2, draft 3, draft 4, and that's it. Can I get a motion to carry those, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, with that said, you can continue if you like, Tom, if you got something else you want to talk about with your, the selectmen's work session liaison report.
Yes, if I could. So I attended the Park and Rec Commission meeting on the 11th, which was Monday night. All their summer help have been hired, and they're now going through training. So they do CPR, first aid, and water safety training. They had 40 kids for their April vacation program, very successful. It was totally full, and that's a self-funded program, so it doesn't cost any taxpayers any money. That program is paid for by the people paying tuition to send their kids there. They're getting lots of use out of the tractor. They're redoing the infield at Thompson Field, so getting lots of use of that. They also got donations for bases for all 4 fields, and so they are digging up the old ones and putting in the new ones using their new tractor.
Awesome.
But check this out. These bases cost $1,000 a set,
Wow.
and somebody donated. That just blew my mind.
For all of them, one
person
no kidding.
donated $4,000 worth of brand new bases
Bases.
for all of them.
Wow.
They have some tree trimming they need to do at Turntable Park, some dead trees there. The swing set at Garvin Park is broken, they've got to figure out how to get that fixed.
Did they have did they know who did that?
The
donator?
Yes.
That might be a very nice appreciation letter. We haven't given out one for a while.
Unless they want to remain anonymous. a lot
Well,
of
it's,
Their name was not brought forward at the meeting.
Okay.
I didn't ask. that would be something I can ask Alyssa. So I'll,
If you ask, and then I
I think
think,
they have a lot of anonymous donors, but yeah, you can ask that.
I will ask her
and if it's not anonymous donor, it'd be a nice appreciation letter.
Okay, I will do that. They are also starting up a track and field program, which they've never done before. It's something that's mirrored with the help of Granite Street Track and Field. Fireworks are July 2nd. Food trucks, concession stand, ice cream, bouncy houses, blow-ups, the whole big deal there. And on May 24th, from 8 to 2 is the townwide yard sale. If you want to participate in it, they can still take your name and address and add you to the list if you get to Park and Rec in the next couple of days. So
Good
that was
job.
all the fun stuff going on with Park and Rec, so lots of stuff there.
Good job. Mark, do you have anything?
Oh, yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. All right, well, I'll start with the Heritage Commission. Had a meeting with them. Again, they went over the dates of some of the events there. We got the Heritage Day, the 8th. They have on June 27th, they want a tile presentation down at the Union Railroad Station where the people that have put time in there, they put their plaque up there. That's gonna be the, open the tiles. And June 4th, they're actually having third grade program where they're gonna be taking the kids around in a bus and showing them things in town and, you know, visiting the cemeteries. They also are doing some docet training. They're actually going to be opening up, let's see here, I got my notes here. I believe in July, that they're gonna be opening up all the places in town. Let me see if I had it, my notes here. Meeting, town, heritage. Let's see. Oh, yeah, so it's gonna be in June. They'll be opening up all the things on the 27th. They also approved the purchase of some picnic tables. We had a price at the meeting that they approved. I went down to, well, I called them up, I called BJ's up, and I went down and they were at $199 instead of the price that we saw online, because the other one was discontinued, and I think it was because of the quality. These ones were much better quality, so we decided to purchase two. And then I found out they were on sale for $149. So I went down there to get the rebate, because they said I could come back the next day and get the rebate, and I didn't have the card on me, so they couldn't put it back on the card. But then they said, well, geez, we're saving that much money. So I went down and grabbed the third one with the gift card that they gave me for the rebate. And it was like $49.99 short, so I donated that. I got a third picnic table. So that's all done.
That's awesome.
Conservation Commission, there wasn't really a whole lot going on. There was no permits to review. One of the things that they, and I don't know, you can talk to Peter about this, because they talked about the documents for DES permits and everything that we post on our website. They're in PDF and they can't really download them as a Word document, fill them out, and then send them to the state. They were wondering if we could convert them to a Word document, so people, when they pull them off our website, that they could edit them in Word and fill them in. They don't have any way to make a PDF fillable to put online, from what I'm hearing.
So right, so I think what you want is a fillable PDF.
Yeah, well, that's what I
That's
asked
the best
them.
way to do it.
But they don't have the ability to make a fillable PDF, because I don't think they have that version of, I think they got the,
Meaning that, who makes those, the downstairs?
yeah, I think they just scan them and put them on there.
So
I don't think that the Adobe that they have has an
right,
ability.
you have to
yeah.
have a different version.
Yeah.
Do you think that's, because putting it in Word is even, because
Yeah, I know, I know what you're saying.
It gets all scrambled and some people can't do Word, and I wonder how much it would cost to get the version of Adobe that would allow them to create fillable PDFs.
I don't know, we can check some of the other
Do
computers.
you have that version?
I
on
do
yours?
not have that version, and you don't want to put a Word version because somebody could
And-
manipulate,
you
right, and then you suddenly don't have
No,
a
that's a
valid.
good point. I was suggesting the fillable PDF myself, but, yeah, Sasha was saying a Word document would be better. And I said, well, I've always used fillable PDFs
Yeah,
and they work.
that's been much better.
fine.
And you bring up a good point, Tony. If somebody can get a Word doc, then they can change it.
Right.
You know, Peter or whoever's looking at the document's probably not looking at that level of detail.
Mhm.
You know, when it comes in signed, they're not looking at it and say, oh, I wonder if this person changed 5
It
words
would-
on it.
You know, we can check into the upgrade of the version, and we might even have a version of it here somewhere in the town hall, maybe.
The only one
Dino
that we
has.
would have, well, the only one that would have that is Peter, and I say that because I believe he has something that that you can convert the PDF into a Word. And I know it's not the same software, but since he has that, he would likely be the one to have the other software if anybody did.
Right, he's got a more advanced version
Yeah,
of Adobe.
yes, he does.
If he
Thank
can
you.
do
Just saying,
that,
if we
he's
have
in
one
Word.
license in the town hall, they could, let him use that version, but anyway, we can check into that.
Mark.
They are very handy when you fill them out online.
What's that?
Meaning when you can pull up a building permit and you pull it up online, you can fill it
instead
in
of
right online.
printing it out.
It tabs right over to each field,
Right.
I know Wolfboro does that.
Yeah,
Right, instead of having to, first off, handwriting can be
yeah, hand
a
jam
little
it, yeah.
iffy, or can they really read what comes in?
Yeah.
It would make it more convenient for, it would probably keep the traffic down in the office
So
if
the
they.
miscellaneous things,
Yeah.
you'd still want, for the big projects, you'd still
Oh,
wanna
you
have
still
the
have that
conversation.
meeting, But this stuff, most of the stuff that requires the conservation, that go through the conservation, is now just really going right to the state. And they're the ones that are saying yay and nay, and it's like, they can put their recommendations on it, but if the state says they're okay with it, it doesn't matter, it's gonna go through.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things that they had talked about. The other thing is the purchase of the land. We all know that went through. We definitely have that. They're going to be meeting with next meeting in June 8th. We're going to be meeting with Moose Mountain Regional Greenways because they're doing their assessment for conservation preservation, and then they'll tell us what they can contribute to that piece of land. So they'll get some money back from that. May take a little while, but still, it was a good purchase, it really was. And they're possibly pursuing the other piece,
Okay.
so.
I think that's probably the first purchase they've made since when that.
Well, that's what I mean,
fund
that's
first
what
started,
they,
a long, long time. I
that's
think
what
they-
that money's there for,
Right.
and, that's what they should
I
be
think they
using it.
used some of it when it very first got created, and then nothing for a long, long time. So that's great to see it be used, because that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
And they did approve a secretary hire, and I think the application is in the office here, but that's something we usually do in non-public, so we're gonna have to pull that off to them, but, I would hope that we would approve it, because,
I'm sure we will. But it's their recommendation and we don't really have a,
I don't know if we can go into non-public in this meeting or whatever. I know they need someone, so they need someone pretty quick, but the next meeting is not until June 8th, and we have a meeting before that, so I think we could probably either
Hold
take
on.
care of that meeting.
Yep.
All right. Because their next meeting would have been a Memorial Day, and
that's not
they don't
gonna
want to
happen.
do that. All right. I know this isn't part of my liaison duties, but I am a member of the cemetery trustees, so I'm gonna give you a little report on that. They're working very hard to get all the Revolutionary War veterans in this town. There's quite a few. There's
Yeah.
hundreds.
I remember they were talking about that last time.
Yeah, so they did that. They actually, they're purchasing a thing to remove, lift stones that are over there. Because they got the one unit they have is too heavy. So this one's an aluminum one. It can handle all the weight of the stones that we have. So they purchased that. Tony was so kind to do that for them because Scott was away. And so she got that purchase for them. The other thing is, they were talking about fertilization of some of these cemeteries because the grass like up your way there, that one there can use some help.
Yeah.
There was some concerns, which I brought up and another member brought up about the Level Lake Cemetery because it gets down close to the water. They talked to the guy that was proposing to do the fertilization, and he uses the correct fertilization for water bodies and stuff like that. He gave us a huge explanation what he used, so that's all good. There was something that Scott, and I'll tell you, Scott he's killing it. He's very involved in this and
That's
he's
awesome.
very passionate about it. Historical research summary, the burial of Nathaniel Balch Jr. And come to find out, he is buried here in Wakefield on Witch Trot Road in a cemetery behind Darrell Remick's. That's what they assume because that's where the thing was. And I don't know if you guys know, but back in the day, Wakefield was, it's called Masonian proprietors. Wakefield was just like squares. It wasn't all these like little house lots we have, and they would give this people these properties, these big huge squares, and they say you got to take care of that property, farm it, whatever. So instead of like the map we got behind us with all the house lots, it was just squares. So it was pretty interesting. So they got that. He was 1773 to 1795 was his. But the records show that he was part of Captain Jeremiah Gilman's company with Colonel Thomas Stickney Regiment of the General Stocks Brigade. So there's quite a bit of history in this town, and they're going to have like a list of all these people on Pride Day that are out here. They're actually putting Revolutionary War markers on their graves that they find.
Cool.
So very active.
Well needed.
General Stark, live free or die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along those lines,
you're right.
Yeah, of course.
Showing
kind of along those lines, I was with the Pride of Wakefield group, and we did all the flag replacement on Level Lake Cemetery.
Yeah.
For all the Memorial Day. So,
Mm-hmm.
so got all those, and that's a quick, I don't want to say fun. I mean, it's just nice to get up there and do that, and a good group of a dozen people that participated in making that happen. So
I want to bring up one more thing too. I'm tired of this internet. We need to move on this. I don't care if it's whoever it is. The system we have is crap.
Yep.
We just found out today when we came in here that we were running really low. And
it should be
if we're
on
gonna
his
put this stuff out
desk
there,
tomorrow.
let's get a better connection, and let's get either Fidium in here or get someone else in here that can provide us the bandwidth because it's terrible.
It should be on Dino's list tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, so with that said, what I have is, I've been on a mediation week where I've been trying to mediate some few situations in town, and I won't go into complete details. I've talked to you about it already on giving names and that, but we have an issue where we're taking someone to court, and the court has found this in contempt, which meaning that they're bringing it back to us to see if we want to go the next step further. I believe that's how that works, and what I'm saying is I took this into my own hands to try to mediate, to keep the town from spending probably thousands to go to court. I'm doing a very good job of mediating it enough that I can get them to come in and comply and make sure that everything is good. I don't think anybody tried not to comply or tried not to do anything wrong. It just happens to be wrong, and Peter did his job, and it went to the furthest extent. What I'm doing now is just taking it from that extent and keeping it out of costs. I want to stop it from costing money. So I've done that, and what I need from you guys is that, knowing the details, are you in favor of me continuing? And that way, the lawyer would just like to know that the board is on board with me continuing, and I can make this happen. So if I can get a motion to allow me to keep mediating the situation that we have going on, that would be good.
As long as it's in benefit of all involved, I would say,
It will benefit everybody, as in it will be solved and won't cost, it's not gonna cost us, lawyer monies and things that the town shouldn't have to pay for, because I think I can solve it with mediation. it's just crazy to take people to court when it's as foolish as this is. I can make it not happen and make things comply.
Right.
So I'm asking for a motion to allow me to continue.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, with that said, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Just one more comment there, you know, it's like, you're sitting on the planning board, we gotta come up with something different, because, you know, we put out these regulations, and some of this stuff has been going on well before these regulations came out.
It has.
And it's almost like we need to have a time where it says, okay, this is, you know, as long as it's not a safety or environmental issue or something like that, you know, there's gotta be a break point, because, you know, it just seems like, you know, we run into this stuff all the time. You know, like people have been doing something on their property for years, and all of a sudden we come up with a regulation, and then all of a sudden
Now they can't.
they can't.
And I'm with you 100%, and that's why I need a little time. And by mediating this, I'll take care of this, but give me the time to bring this up, to bring this in front of the board, so that I can get the board to accommodate to it. And I think as much as I know I don't think I'll be asking for anything that we shouldn't be able to do.
Okay.
I know that we have to put it in front of the people, and so I just gotta get it together, and that's what we're doing now. We're working on a bunch of things, you know, the short-term rentals and all that stuff, and that's all gonna be put onto the you know, the warrant for next year's thing. But I am onto it, and I think the building department's with me on that also, and so we'll be able to do something, and I agree with you though, 100%.
You know, it's just like the right-of-way issue, like you got this new RSA about right-of-ways and stuff like that, and, it's, you know, they've had these accesses for years,
I know.
you know, and it's like.
And
all
then
of a
they just
sudden-
take it away from you, and
No,
then they
no.
expect you to comply.
They-
No, I get
they
it.
They deeded access, so, you know, just stuff like that, it drives me crazy, 'cause
Me too.
Just looking at that hawkers peddlers thing, which I'll have on the agenda for our next meeting, because now I've done all my research on it. But it's hard to, when you look at that stuff, everything is so intertwined and layered on top of each other. It's
Yeah,
very
and that's
complicated.
another one that we've talked about. That
So I'll bring my research and my recommendations to our next meeting.
Perfect.
Based on all the research I've done. I met with Peter, I've met with Chief Fenton, and so I got their
Good.
thoughts and input, and I'll share all that next meeting.
So with that, motion to adjourn.
so move.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.